Alright, YouTubers, welcome back to War Thunder with the Angry Nerd. And today I thought we would do a quick video on some of the user skins that I have created. Now, disclaimer, none of these skins are historically accurate. So don't expect a bunch of, perfect historically accurate skins. I have not done those yet, although I am looking to do some. I just need to find some references that give me a view of both sides and the bottom of the planes to make sure that I get it historically accurate, and I have not found any references that give me an all-around view so that I make sure I get it exactly right. I have only made damage model skins for 2 of these skins that I've done. So that being said, let's take a look at these skins. Now, if you watched the Typhoon video review on the Typhoon, you got a sneak peek at these next 2 skins. But this is the standard camouflage that comes with the Typhoon, and I took and modified it a little bit to make a desert camo. So we changed the colors to light and darker, or tan and brown. We added the shark mouth and eyes that I wrapped around the front there, and we added the black between the 2 colors in the camouflage pattern. But the pattern is exactly the same as the standard pattern that you get on the Typhoon. I liked the pattern and thought it was easier to modify the existing pattern versus doing a completely new pattern. So this is the Typhoon Mark 1B in Desert Camo. Now the next one is the Mark 1B Late. I did the same thing with it. Modified the standard camouflage into a night fighter version. So this is the Mark 1B Late. Modified into a night fighter version. Now on this one I did wrap the camouflage pattern underneath as well. There are the 2 Typhoon camouflage patterns that I've come up with. The next one is on the Americans. You've seen this one before. It is the Angry Nerd Night Fighter version of the F4U1C. Now this pattern was basically created as an advertisement for the channel, and that's why you have the bright orange Angry Nerd logos there with the flames. You have the Angry Nerd logo here on the wing and underneath here on the right wing. So that is the Angry Nerd Night Fighter advertisement skin. Because if you were doing night fighting, you wouldn't have like all this bright fluorescent lettering on your planes, I don't think. The next one is the P40E1 in a tiger stripe camouflage pattern. This one I threw a subdued Angry Nerd logo on the wings and underneath. I again threw on the shark's mouth and eyes. I think this pattern turned out pretty well. I had done a couple of more skins, another one for the P40 and another one for the Typhoon, but when I was creating these skins, I accidentally saved over the other skins because I wasn't really paying attention, so several hours worth of work on the other skins were whoop, erased, gone, just like that. Click of the button. And that's what I get for not paying attention. And I will learn from my mistakes. Here on the P40 skin, you can see I put the carbon trailing from the firing of the 50 cals there, and the exhaust smudges here on the side of the aircraft. The bottom of the skin is exactly the same, except for have the Angry Nerd logos there. So that's the P40. The next skin is back on the F4U1C. This one I saw from a photograph of an actual F4U on the internet, minus the Angry Nerd logo that I put on the tail here. Most of these dark and light blue camouflage schemes, the light blue trails off at the back of the back edge of the wing and picks up again at the front of the wing, and directly over the wing you still have the dark blue pattern coming down onto the wing. I wanted it to be a little bit different than what you normally see, and since I saw this photograph where the light and dark blue intersected all the way up the center of the fuselage, I liked it. It had the checkerboard engine cowling. So I went ahead and made one like that, replaced the numbers on the landing gear and on the side, and put the Angry Nerd logo on it, as well as the pilot name right there. I think this one turned out pretty well, although again not 100% historically accurate. I don't believe there were any fighters in World War II flying around with the Angry Nerd logo on it. Now the next skin is also an F4U, but while I was looking for some of the historically accurate pictures to do, I ran across this artist rendition of a captured F4U, and it was with a paragraph about a British pilot who was doing anti-shipping patrols and had to crash land in a field in France, allowing the Germans to capture his F4U. I have no idea whether that is true or not, but I thought that the camouflage pattern and stuff on this artist rendition was interesting, and thought I would attempt to recreate it. So here is my version of that right there. Let's jump back to the photograph and back to the War Thunder plane. I have the stripes faded out here. Couldn't get the exact lettering, but fairly close. Now I did go ahead and include the swastika here on the end. I know that that may be offensive to some people. It was not intended to offend anyone. If it offends you, then you are truly have a, weak skin, and get over it. But this will not show up in game, so I'm not really worried about. You have to be watching my videos to see this. So I have not decided whether I'm going to leave that on. It's fairly easy to change. This is my version of the captured F4U. Again, I placed in some of the carbon striping from the firing of the machine guns, a little bit of exhaust staining there on the bottom. I didn't stain it up too much because I figured when they repainted it, they were more test flying it and not taking it into combat, so I figured it would not have been fired up as much. So this is the F4U captured version, the F4U1A. I did bring the gray down across the bottom. So I thought y'all might like to see this. Now this was not a video on how to create these user skins. I do have on a previous video how to create the simple skins in Photoshop. If you're interested in that, you can swing over to my channel and find that video. It basically just shows like how to create the Night Fighter skin. It's pretty simple. It's not in depth with all of the other markings like some of this other stuff. It takes me several hours to make a skin like this in Photoshop, because the War Thunder skins that you get as a template they're not all the same. They have the pieces of the planes all over the place. So there's a lot of trial and error that goes in to making these skins. At least it is for me. I'm sure that some people can do it fairly quickly. But if you're interested in how to make a skin, please check out that other video. If you liked this video, like it. If you didn't, don't. Subscribe if you would. Check out some of my other videos. You may find something interesting and I could use the views. But as always, thanks for watching. There'll be more skins for different aircraft coming up. Thanks again. Nerd out.